strongest El Niño ever recorded may be brewing in the Pacific right now, and across the Central Valley, water districts have one message for growers. Get your fields ready before the rain shows up. You're listening to the SGMA Weekly, your 10-minute briefing on everything happening in California groundwater. Brought to you by water1.ai. I'm your AI host. Let's get into it. Later in the brief, the state's invoices have landed in grower mailboxes, and you've got 30 days. I'll tell you exactly what to check before you pay. First up, El Niño. Delano Early Mart. Irrigation District's staff told their board that current models suggest this developing El Niño may become the strongest on record since tracking began in 1950, potentially bigger than 83, 97, or 2023. And here's the part they were careful about. A strong El Niño does not guarantee a wet year, but the districts aren't waiting to find out. Tulare Irrigation District's general manager plans to message landowners this fall with a simple checklist: borders up, land listed, fields set up, because a grower who can't take water when it's running will simply miss it. As he put it, once it's raining, it's too late to prep a field. Shafter-Wasco Irrigation District sees late October through December as the likely wettest stretch, and crews there are already mowing and dissing recharge basins, so every pond is ready to soak up whatever this winter delivers. The message across the valley is the same. Hope is not a plan. A listed field is. Next up, Greater Kaweah. The Greater Kaweah GSA, that's a groundwater sustainability agency, the local body responsible for balancing a groundwater basin, spent most of its meeting on one big idea: stop allocating water that doesn't physically exist underground. Today, growers there can buy tiered overdraft water, essentially permission to pump beyond the basin's sustainable yield. The concept on the table would eliminate those tiered allocations entirely and replace them with real, wet water, seepage and conveyance losses purchased from ditch companies and irrigation districts, then made available for growers to buy. One speaker put it bluntly: allocating overdraft water is dragging the entire subbasin backwards, and the pressure is real. Tulare Irrigation District told the GSA it expects, not merely supports, the end of overdraft allocations, and the stakeholder committee is discussing a phase-out by 2027. Watch the September 14th board meeting. Decisions on the next water year's allocation could land there to hit an October 1st effective date. If this works, expect other basins to study it closely. Now, this one's for your mailbox. Following up on the state extraction reporting we've covered the past 2 weeks, the invoices have arrived. Lower Tule River Irrigation District reports landowners are receiving state water board bills based on their extraction filings. $300 per registered well, plus $20 per acre-foot of reported pumping. And the clock matters. Payment is due within 30 days. 2 things to do. First, check the math. Make sure what you're being billed matches what you actually reported. Second, if you included banked or district-allocated water credits in your reported volumes, Pixley GSA walked growers through filing a petition for reconsideration to seek to have those amounts removed. File it before the due date. Explicitly request a stay of payment. Include your customer number and attach documentation like your ET statements. One wrinkle both districts flagged: the state hasn't clearly defined what counts as legally stored surface water, so Lower Tule is still seeking clarity on whether growers should pay first and petition after, or hold payment. Ask your district before you decide. Here's the thing about storage. Sometimes the best news is what you don't have to spend. Santa Clara Valley Water District authorized about $1.3 million for its share of planning on the BF Sisk Dam raise, a major reservoir expansion south of the Delta that Valley Water is pursuing jointly with the San Luis and Delta Mendota Water Authority and 5 other agencies. The headline: engineers confirmed the existing embankment slopes already meet seismic standards, and that finding a loan cut projected capital costs by nearly $200 million. Less fill, less barging, more trucks. A final investment decision is expected in mid-2028, with construction starting the year after. And as one board member put it, with Anderson Dam offline for its seismic retrofit, this kind of storage security is exactly what the county needs right now. And before we leave the must-knows, an update on the story we've been tracking for weeks now: the proposed pumping moratorium along the Friant-Kern Canal. Lower Tule River Irrigation District says the state's clock just sped up. Districts were originally told to expect action around mid-2027. Now, staff say the state is describing a rollout late this year, with adoption as early as January or February, months ahead of the schedule Porterville described just last week. Phase 1 would halt pumping within roughly 2 miles on either side of the canal, along the full length of the Tule subbasin, and Pixley GSA says the zone could reach even wider, potentially affecting 60 to 90,000 acres across multiple agencies. The state has been clear. Any local alternative has to achieve essentially what a moratorium would. If you farm near the canal, there's a grower outreach meeting on August 28th. That's the room to be in. All right, trends in the valley. Trend 1. The meter is replacing the satellite. For years, most basins have charged growers based on crop consumption, evapotranspiration, estimated from satellites. Pixley GSA just presented a framework that would count total water applied instead. Here's why it matters. A grower irrigating at 50% efficiency might pump 6 feet of water to get 3 feet of actual crop use. Under the old system, they're charged for 3. Under the new one, all 6. Lower Tule is heading the same direction in phases, and the shift would land hardest on flood irrigators, who farm roughly half that district's ground. Target date, early 2027. Not everyone's convinced, though. Greater Kaweah looked at mandatory flow meters and passed for now, citing maintenance and calibration headaches, and is sticking with satellite data. The direction of travel, though, is clear. What your pump moves is becoming the number that counts. Trend 2. Building on the leave-behind debate we covered at Pleasant Valley 2 weeks ago, the 10% leave-behind is spreading down the Friant-Kern corridor. Tulare Irrigation District described draft recharge rules being developed jointly by the canal's surface water districts. Recharge 10 acre-feet, and you can only ever take 9 back out. Extraction would be limited to the upper aquifer, roughly the top 600 feet, and you could pull no more than 20% of your banked balance in any single year. Porterville expects its version in front of the board next month, with the whole package wrapping by December 2026. The era of unrestricted withdrawals from your own recharge account is closing, and the districts would tell you that's exactly the point. Banked water only helps with subsidence if most of it stays down there. Trend 3. Ransomware has found the water sector, and boards are finally budgeting for it. Tulare Irrigation District moved to approve a 3-year managed IT and cybersecurity package, about $130,000, after having every vendor proposal reviewed by an industry insurance authority's cybersecurity specialist. Amador Water Agency's board talked through the same threat landscape, noting that a neighboring district has already been hit by ransomware twice. And Calaveras County Water District just landed a cybersecurity grant. Small and mid-size agencies are realizing they're not too small to be targets. They're actually the preferred ones. Trend 4. The domestic well safety net is becoming real. The mitigation plans we've tracked in development the past 2 weeks are turning into funded programs. Eastern San Joaquin Groundwater Authority relaunched its domestic well mitigation program, emergency water, technical review, and potential financial help for well owners whose wells failed because of groundwater overdraft going back to 2015. It's backed by a $200,000 fund, and here's the actionable part. There's a 6-month claims window, closing February 12, 2027. If your well went dry, that deadline is yours. VENA GSA is next, with its own program development starting in 2027. And Trend 5. Mark your calendar, because groundwater plan season is stacking up this fall. 5-year updates to groundwater sustainability plans are hitting public review across the state. Sacramento Groundwater Authority releases its draft around August 20th. VENA GSA opens a 45-day comment window in September, and the Turlock Basins release in October, with comments closing November 20th. These documents set the pumping rules, the thresholds, and the fees for the next 5 years. And the comment window is the one moment the public gets real leverage. Every agency we covered today includes contact and engagement details in its full recap. So if one of these affects you, that's where to start. That's your SGMA Weekly. If you want the full details on every board meeting we covered, head to water1.ai. You can read the complete recaps, and if you want to dig deeper, try ChatGSA. Just ask it anything about your district, and it'll pull up the answers from the latest meetings. I'm your AI host. Stay informed, and I'll see you next week.